Welcome back to the Michigan Business Beat on Michigan Business Network. Jeffrey Mosher sitting in for Chris Holman on the road, Traverse City vicinity, CAR MBS, the Center for Automotive Research's Management Briefing Seminars, number 58. And we are on hand with the head of CAR. It is Alan Amici. Alan, welcome back to the Michigan Business Beat.
Jeffrey, thank you. It's good to see you again.
Tremendous. So, a couple months ago, we introduced you to the Michigan business community, and you've been on the job for right around a year now with CAR. How has that year gone?
Well, the year's gone by very quickly. We've been very busy building the technical depth at CAR. We brought in some industry heavyweights that really understand how and why the industry works, and we brought in people that understand the impact of technology and what that means for the future. So that's been our work the past year, is really strengthened CAR's capabilities.
Tremendous, and we look forward to those hot topics that you and some other industry experts share out on a fairly regular basis over the course of the year, and that's been a very popular thing. And now we are here at MBS, Management Briefing Seminars. Can you speak to the scope of what is going on with this year's MBS?
Sure, Jeffrey, happy to. We have assembled a deep technical agenda for this year's Management Briefing Seminar. So we have topics on software-defined vehicle. We have topics on semiconductors. Are we through the semiconductor shortage, or what's happening in the next 5 or 10 years in that space? What's happening in EV batteries, and what is the charging infrastructure going to look like over the next 5 years? We've got other topics like trade and policy. Is this the end of globalization? That will be discussed. We've also got some interesting topics on supply chain, manufacturing technologies, and advanced materials. So we've got a broad range of topics. We have some terrific panelists and speakers that really understand the industry, and it's a great opportunity to get a broad overview with some technical depth of the automotive industry today.
Speaking of the speakers and panelists, Michigan obviously is the center for this, but did you go out across the state or even international for those experts that are speaking this week?
We do have executives with global experience that are speaking in our panel today, this week, but we also have people from the semiconductor industry that have been involved or live in Silicon Valley in California. Some of them have migrated to Michigan. Some are just commuting for this particular event. So we've got people from around the country, really. This is broader than just the state of Michigan. However, the southeastern Michigan is the center of gravity for EV development, and so Michigan is very well represented here.
And there are essentially like a trade expo going along in parallel with the presentations that are going on in the assembly halls. Can you speak to some of the groups that are represented here this year?
We do. We have a couple of universities like Kettering and Washtenaw Community College, so the university's academia is represented here. But we also have some benchmarking providers, like CareSoft is one of the companies here, and they've got some benchmarking that they've done in this particular space to show the differences in bodies, the differences in components between internal combustion engine vehicles and EVs. Really interesting display in that regard. We've also got some software companies that are joining us. We've got a company that's involved with cybersecurity. So it's really a broad range of topics. You come on in, make connections is probably the most important part of MBS, connections that you probably wouldn't make in your normal course of business. And it's really all about the connectedness of the auto industry. That's how we learn, that's how we grow, and that's how we advance.
Tremendous. And so lightweighting is a popular topic to help with the industry. And I understand there was a ceremony a little bit earlier today. Briefly, can you speak to what went on earlier in the day?
Sure, Jeffrey. We just had the Altair Enlighten Awards presented this morning. And the Altair Enlighten Awards, in association with the Center for Automotive Research, this recognizes innovations in the industry in lightweighting for vehicles and also sustainability. So some EVs are as much as 1,000 kilograms heavier than their internal combustion counterparts. So it's really important the industry figures out ways to make vehicles lighter. And if you reduce weight, you can improve the range also. And also sustainability. consumers and investors are interested in investing in companies that have a good sustainability plan. So both of those are recognized in the Altair and Lighten Awards.
And when we speak to sustainability, we're talking also from recyclability of the vehicle when it's finished its 12 or 15-year life, or the battery packs so that they aren't an environmental issue in the dumps later on. And there are probably some issues of a green factory in the production of those vehicles.
Exactly. Think of it as dirt to dirt. So the entire product life cycle, the beginning and the end, but also, as you mentioned, the manufacturing processes. We want green manufacturing processes. We want zero return to landfill. We want clean water during these processes. So all of those are encompassed in the Altair and Lighten Awards.
Fair enough. In our last 30 seconds or so, is there anything you'd like the Michigan business community to know that we haven't already covered?
Michigan's a great place to do business. We have an informed and skilled workforce. We have great universities. We have 3 research universities within 100 miles of the city of Detroit. So it's a great place to do business. The environment is fantastic, and it's a really great community here.
Alan, thank you so much for spending some time with the Michigan Business Beat today.
Jeffrey, pleasure to be with you, and nice to see you again.
Alan Amici is the head of CAR, Center for Automotive Research. We're on hand for their 58th annual MBS Management Briefing Seminars. We're at the Grand Traverse Resort and Spa. We'll be back with more on the Michigan Business Beat on Michigan Business Network.